This sure beats the airline.
Welcome to Life in 2046. Today we're going to talk about the future of aviation and travel. Let's start with that thing feared by every frequent traveler ever, and that would be the TSA. The checks will be roughly the same, but artificial intelligence and advanced technologies will substantially affect how we go about doing this and the speed and accuracy of the scans. As shown in our diagram, first you go through an automated biometric check, which checks for the legitimacy of you being there. In other words, you have a ticket or you have other approved reasons for going through the system. Once that's verified, you're allowed in, and you put your baggage through a high throughput baggage CT scan. Basically, it will scan and AI will process the scan, read what's in there, and determine if there's anything in there that should not be. While that's going on, you'll walk through the tunnel, which is the seamless body imaging scan. You'll do this and it will look at your body through several different directions and determine whether or not you're carrying anything that is prohibited. You will not have to remove shoes or items, belts, or anything else in order to do this. While you're doing that, the artificial intelligence will perform a AI threat risk analysis and risk scoring. This will combine information from your past previous scans as well as what's going on in the world and the system right now. That will give you clearance to exit, gather your luggage, and go on about your way. Once you've been cleared, the TSA will be able to rely on the accuracy of all the information and scans that have been performed, and this should eliminate the need for those highly suspicious random selections for further scanning. The next major improvement to air transportation you probably won't see, but it may be the most effective in getting you from where you are to where you want to be. And that is a fully AI driven automated air traffic control system. Most people know that now the pilots and the air traffic controllers talk to one another over radios. The radios are susceptible to interruption and interference, and misunderstandings occur pretty regularly. Everyone works very hard to do their job correctly, but the system is just too old and outdated. The new automated system will optimize efficiency and flow, trying to use 4G trajectories to predictively prevent conflicts and also to prevent bottlenecks, minimizing fuel burn as well as saving plenty of time. As opposed from the now having to go point to point to radio beacons across the country, the system will be able to take direct routes to get you to where you want to go. The second thing is enhanced safety. Instantaneous multi-aircraft conflict detection will eliminate issues with just an overwhelming amount of information, particularly as you get into the highly congested areas around major airports. It also eliminates human fatigue and error with automated system-wide monitoring. Preventative measures to keep the conflicts under traditional ATC are somewhat limited, but fully AI driven preventative measures can eliminate virtually all conflicts. Third, increased capacity and adaptability. There's only so many flights that a single controller can handle, and there's only so many flights that can successfully communicate with a controller. Safe operation will reduce minimum separations, and dynamic airspace scaling will help to meet the demand. Safe integration of diverse aircraft types, drones, air taxis, the types that are propeller driven versus jets versus supersonic jets can really increase the airspace usage and increase how much the system can handle at a time. Finally, this improved efficiency and flow will substantially reduce the cost of airline travel as well as the environmental impact. The next major change that the technologies will bring to the airline industry is autonomous aircraft. On May 25th, 1972, Lockheed test pilots flew a Lockheed L-1011 aircraft from Palmdale, California to Washington Dulles without manual control inputs. The plane did its takeoff roll, its entire flight, and its landing all on its own. Though some of these settings were not ever certified for use in the aircraft, it was there and it could happen. This technology has been around for a while, but the improvements in it, the improvements in the ability to process the information necessary, and the improvements that will come through the air traffic control upgrades that we have just spoken about will all make this a reality. Is it likely that you will have aircraft with no certified person on them? That's very unlikely, at least as far as aircraft carrying people. What you are very likely to have, though, is a combination person who is the safety officer who has the ability to intervene should something go terribly wrong on the airplane. What will the deployment of autonomous airplanes look like? First, we anticipate cargo planes will become autonomous. This will prove the concept while relieving fears about what happens to the passengers in a problem. Second, it'll move into the urban air mobility phase, what we've talked about before, the flying drones in the localized area. And third, it'll then eventually find itself into the commercial phase, where there will be the single pilot who acts as the safety officer and takes care of the airplane in any unusual circumstances. What other changes can we see? Well, there'll be some changes in the aircraft themselves. One of the ones you can see moving now is the move towards long-range single-aisle airplanes. Your Boeing 737 MAX 7 and 8 and your Airbus A321 XLR have the capability of serving what's called long thin routes. So they will go from mid-sized city to mid-sized city overseas. This will make travel overseas much more convenient and cost effective and reduce the need for so many passengers to be going through the already super crowded hubs. The next big change will be the return of supersonic travel. Those of us who were active during the time of the Concorde remember how easy it was to cut the time to go overseas in half. Currently under development is the Boom Overture plane, which will allow supersonic travel to overseas destinations in a much more cost-effective and environmentally friendly design. With proof of concept prototypes flying around now, it's anticipated that the ultimate jet will achieve Mach 1.7, about a 60,000 foot cruising altitude, and have a 64 to 80 passenger capacity. All of this comes together to allow it also to be used on the long, thin routes that will attract customers who are willing to pay for the savings of their time. Finally, to return to our original video,
This sure beats the airline.
autonomous flying airplanes, significant reductions in the cost of fuels necessary to fly those planes, and the changes in air traffic control that will increase the efficiency of the flights themselves will all contribute to a rise in the use of private jets by people who otherwise would be using a premium product. All of these factors come together to paint a pretty rosy picture of air travel in 2046. Thank you for watching Life in 2046. Be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have any questions or comments, email us at lifein2046@gmail.com.